Every magic trick has three parts: a pledge, a turn, and a prestige.
Day 2 of the Russian invasion into Ukraine, and its forces continue to press deep into Ukraine. The battle has reached the outskirts of Ukraine's capital, Kiev. In a midnight address, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said his country was left alone to fight Russia after the Kremlin launched a full-scale invasion. He also warned that Russian sabotage groups had entered the capital, urged residents to be vigilant and observe curfew rules.
Але є й друге. Ми залишаємось наодинці у захисті нашої держави. Хто готовий воювати разом з нами? Чесно, не бачу таких. Хто готовий дати Україні гарантію вступу до НАТО? Чесно, всі бояться.
Across Ukraine, at least 137 people have been killed in the first day of fighting. President Zelensky called up conscripts, reservists countrywide to come and fight as he ordered general mobilization.
What is so important about Russia and Ukraine? On April 26, 1987, 1 year to the date of the Chernobyl event, the Mother Mary showed up to a small village at a church of the Holy Trinity. This apparition showed up with a light phenomenon. The first person she showed up to was a little girl 12 years old named Marina. She went and got her mom and some neighbors. They came and they saw her too. The apparitions continued until March 15th, 1987. It is estimated that over 500,000 people seen these apparitions. Crowds could range from 45,000 to 70,000 people a day. The crowds got so big that even the Russian militia nor the KGB could control the crowds.
Over 100,000 people have been displaced as Russian missiles and shelling rained down on Ukrainian cities. The first Ukraine refugees have already begun trickling into Hungary and Romania. And for more perspective on this, we're now being joined by Lester Munson, Senior Fellow at the National Security Institute. Thank you so much for joining us. Russia has seized control of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. What can you tell us of the significance of this?
Well, it's an incredibly dangerous thing if you think about it. There is still radioactive waste at Chernobyl being protected by a giant shield. If the fighting had done anything to disrupt that shield, we could have seen catastrophic consequences for Ukraine, for Russia, for other neighboring countries. So it's a very somber reminder that very much is at stake during this Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Joining me now on the phone is Father Andrei Zelensky of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, who is in Ukraine right now. He is the deputy head of the Department of Military Chaplaincy of Ukraine. Father, I understand that you're inside a bomb shelter right now. What can you tell us?
Right now, I'm in the bomb shelter downtown Kyiv. This is unbelievable, unacceptable. So this teaches us a lot. Teaches us that lies cost lives. The lie about denazification of Ukraine is one of the greatest lies I ever heard about this nation.
Tessa is in shock. She walks around in a daze, looking at the destroyed businesses and homes.
I cannot think straight. I can't find the words. It's barbaric, terrible. The world is shaking. I just don't understand.
Shrapnel has ripped through the golden spires of an Orthodox church. Every window is smashed. Underground metro stations is where many people hide.
People say forget about this and that, about apocalypse, the end of the world. The end of the world has arrived.
So let me get this straight. While everybody else was talking about Elon Musk, Johnny Depp, and Twitter, you basically had a little horn show up at a temple and call himself the Anointed One. Pay attention.
Я вітаю всіх вас зі святом Пасхи і Великодня. Бережіть себе, бережіть своїх близьких, бережіть Україну. Христос Воскрес! Воістину.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector, with trillions at his disposal.
The way people are praying to the Mother Mary is idolatrous. They are no longer praying in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. They are praying in the name of Mother Mary. And they're not even praying to his mom. They're praying to Isis, Lady Liberty, Semiramis, Nimrod's wife, and Satan's mistress.
Pope Francis processed into St. Peter's Basilica to preside over the celebration of penance ahead of the fourth Sunday of Lent, stopping before the same miraculous crucifix used in his extraordinary Urbi et Orbi blessing given at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. On the Feast of the Annunciation, the Pope urged Christians to look to Mary's acceptance of God's will as an example for their own lives. He then proceeded to perform the act of consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the meaning of which he described in his homily.
Non si tratta di una formula magica, no, non è questo, ma si tratta di un atto spirituale. È il gesto del pieno affidamento dei figli che nella tribolazione di questa guerra crudele e questa guerra insensata che minaccia il mondo ricorrono alla madre, come i bambini. Quando sono spaventati, vanno dalla mamma a piangere.
The Pope prayed before a statue of Our Lady of Fatima and offered the act of consecration, making specific mention of Russia and Ukraine.
Madre di Dio e nostra, solennemente affidiamo e consacriamo al tuo cuore immacolato noi stessi, la Chiesa e l'umanità intera, in modo speciale la Russia e l'Ucraina.
I read the scripture in John because when Jesus came along, John was the man. He had the crowd, he had the name, he had the audience, he had the power, he had the brand, he was unique, he was authentic, he was creative. Jesus said there was none like John. But the truth of the matter is God gave John his platform so that he would be smart enough to know when to pass it on. And after 30 years of ministering Woman Heart Loose and 46 years of preaching the gospel, the time has come that I must decrease, that you might increase. I am so proud of you.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Binarily augmented retroframing, or BARF.
I told him it was a mistake, that my technology could change the world.
Powerful illusions, real damage, worked like a charm. The story you created of a soldier from another Earth named Quentin fighting space monsters in Europe is totally ridiculous and apparently exactly the kind of thing people will believe right now. I mean, everybody bought it. Staging electromagnetic pulses at each attack site so Fury's own satellites would confirm our lies. Inspired idea.
Project Bluebeam is a very sophisticated, technologically driven sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is a cleverly executed trick, skill and dexterity in conjuring a trick, skill in deception, and the way people keep going from worshiping the Father to the Mother and worshiping someone instead of the Anointed One, the Antichrist. Wouldn't it be interesting if they brought back Semiramis, the Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary, to bring in and usher in the beast system?